Hello everyone, my name is Oksana. It's through to Edoverse, weekly Edoverse Insider, the 49th. We deliver the news about the creation of our project Edoverse. And as usual, Tokugawa-san, could you please open the session today?
All right, thank you, Oksana. Hello, everybody. This is Iehiro Tokugawa. So today is the fourth and final presentation on the Oku, or the Shogun's harem, so to speak, or the ladies' quarters in Edo Castle. Now, I think I have been speaking of the whole setup of the Oku in a rather slightly negative light because it's so alien to our sensibilities presently. But and then, so was this like, apart from reproduction, was this a total waste, or like, how should I say, a bureaucratic white elephant? There was that aspect. There are 500 ladies expecting to have enjoy the good life, even though most of them would have to stay single. So the expenses for the Ooku outweighed everything else, apparently. So, and this is little wonder that Tokugawa the shoguns had to give up power, because as long as he maintained the Ooku, he could not modernize his government, but they could not get rid of it. And that's why the shogunate collapsed in a way. So the annual budget was worth more than a warship at the end of the Tokugawa times, a steam-powered warship. Now, and then that said, it was not a total waste, and these people were not just being idle apart from reproduction, making babies, getting pregnant and making babies. As you see, the Tokugawa family, the shogunal families, my bloodline could survive because of the Ooku. The consort, the bride of the 13th shogun, went in from the Kagoshima family of Shimazu. And she was a very bright woman. And as the emperor's army was approaching Edo, it was this lady, the wife of the 13th shogun, Tensho-in, who communicated abundantly with the Satsuma army. Satsuma is, they are the vassals of so Satsuma is the land where the Shimazu family ruled. And ironically, although the shogun's wife came from that clan, they were also spearheading the Meiji Restoration. But anyway, with the lobbying of Tensho-in, so the emperor's army, or the emperor in the Meiji, in the end decided to let the Tokugawa family stay at least a daimyo. So we had our annual budget cut by between 70 and 90%, and was removed to Shizuoka, present-day Shizuoka. But still, we could survive and maintain our title as a daimyo because of the efforts of the wife of the 13th shogun. So you see, and it could function because there was a big bureaucracy to support her. Each letter was formed perfectly and then went through the correct channels and delivered to Saigo, the leader of the emperor's army at the time. Yes. So, and also another is that you see in the and that is the so you see the Tokugawa could finish its rule elegantly, partly because of Ooku, and also of the life of all the ladies who lived there in Edo Castle, just to support the shogun's wife and occasionally become his second or third wife and shogun's mother. Now, you think of a woman's life in pre-industrial society, it was very hard everywhere on this earth. Sexual freedom, forget it. Boys, you don't. And people in general, and women more so, died very early. There was no medicine, and there was very little heating, and all the hard labor fell on women, domestic labor, and there was plenty of domestic labor. Think of African nations where girls have to carry water in big clay pots and putting them on their heads. So you were freed from all that, and you could live in relative comfort inside the castle, which is beautifully decorated. If you visit Nijojo today, or the reproduction of the palace in Nagoya Castle, then you can imagine what life would be like there, even if your function was closer to that of a modern day waitress. But still, it is better than remaining a commoner girl in many ways. So they had a life, is all I can say. So the oku is a very strange aspect of Tokugawa civilization, but it was not all bad. And what could be said about the topic for the next couple of sessions? I could not tell. And that topic also concerns women's lives, and that is Yoshiwara, the red light district of Edo. So stay tuned, and thank you very much. Bye-bye. See you next week.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to live now here in contemporary times.
Yes.
But I'm ready to live in Edoverse, not Edo maybe, but Edoverse, yes.
Yes.
So thank you very much. And JJ, could you please join us? Hello.
Yeah, hello. Hi, thank you, Oksana. Hi, everybody. Today I'd like to update two topics. One good news is our team effort is, realizing great works in terms of avatars. As you can see, the Shinsengumi avatars was bid by certain investors, and then the price is maybe around 24 Ether to 25 Ether for each, I guess. It's definitely amazing great work, because as you can see, maybe currently NFT market, basically free mint is so popular. So let's say like issuer mints NFT by free, and then the user can get those NFTs by free. But our hero avatars sold by 25 Ether, it's almost close to Mr. Donald Trump's NFT. It's really nice record track, really nice. So definitely, I think most of the crypto media, like internet, TV, should broadcast this great news. Definitely, in addition to Iehiro-san's good ceremony as well. Yeah. So this is a good topic from my side. And the other topic is, yes, as you can see, crypto is coming back now. I mean, BTC and Ethereum is moving up quickly, and those moving is because maybe from my perspective, from Hong Kong is gonna be open for crypto investors. This is what one huge reason why crypto is rising up these days. And the other one is Twitter is gonna implement their own token based on their original blockchain, and then maybe within these years they're gonna make further announcement that they're gonna have some kind of transaction function on Twitter. So those two, Hong Kong and Twitter, makes the crypto market more bullish. And in addition to that, we are going to have great supporter from the US. The name is Amazon. Amazon is gonna coming into NFT space, and they're gonna launch their own NFT marketplace. Means that Amazon is gonna start to deal with ERC20 tokens, because basically NFT is based on the Ethereum. So it means Amazon is gonna provide some kind of transaction platform between crypto and ERC20 and NFTs. Means that I think it's also my perspective it's also my personal perspective, but I think within 2 years or 3 years, Amazon is going to launch their own fungible token or own utility token, and user can use those types of utility tokens so that they can get some kind of a discount ratio. For example, if we use JPY or USD, $100. But if we use utility token, $80, something like this. And then imagine that maybe the user base, Amazon, has maybe more than 300 million or something globally, and I don't know, maybe so anyway, 50 to 55 million even in Japan only. So huge ecosystem and huge user base is gonna be next huge consumer base for crypto market. So I'm dreaming of having an experience of dealing with Shinsengumi avatars or Katana avatars or Daimyo Mansion avatars, NFTs on Amazon. That's gonna be super powerful and like dreaming an attractive future, I guess. So anyway, we have really great movement in crypto space, so it's time for us to make it more quicker. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, JJ. And yes, it's incredible the news you delivered, and
Yeah.
wow, that's all I can say. Yes, thank you. And Mitsushi, could you please join us? Hello.
Hello, thanks, Oksana. And I saw the auction of Shinsengumi avatars, and it was great that a lot of people made a response, and great. I saw a lot of attractions, and I saw people tweeting about Edoverse project, and the other day I met one businessman. He was making an arrangement to introduce Web3 into Japanese traditional cultures, such as like kimono and katana and so on. And he knew Edoverse, and we were talking about Edoverse and how his activity can be a great collaboration for us. I think it's a great idea to collaborate with Japanese traditional sort of craftsmanship kind of cultures and institution and organization. Those kind of people are really interested in adapting Web3 or creating like NFT and others. So I will continue to talk to those kind of people, and I will introduce those people to Dominic at some point. What they were talking about is like they knew that there are a lot of Metaverse projects, but Edoverse is the only project that feature like Japan taste. So I think that really matches the organizations or institutions that are trying to introduce Web3 culture into traditional Japanese culture. So that was a great opportunity for me. And I also see that like not only like Japanese people, but also the global accounts in Twitter started to talk about Edoverse and tokens. I think that's a great harbinger for us to promote and expand our project into global space. That's my take right now. That's all for me today. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much, Mitsushi. And also we have Martin here, like joining Dominic. Yes, hello. Today was the
big boss man, so it's always
lucky you.
Lucky. But it's a privilege not only to be with Dominic, but also to be in this office, which has amazing artworks on the walls. So I'm right next to a Banksy, and it's quite thrilling. But I think that's something that we might be able to replicate within the Edoverse when we're going to have these galleries. And you can get the NFT art and maybe have your own space where you can kind of feel like a daimyo in your little palace in the Edoverse and surround yourself with beautiful objects that in real life you couldn't afford, but in Metaverse you can. So that's interesting. Tokugawa-san mentioned the Satsuma-han, and there's a little piece of historical trivia that I'd like to mention when people bring up Satsuma, because in 1863, there was a war between England and the Satsuma. It's Satsuma-e Senso, the Anglo-Satsuma War. It only lasted for 3 days, and there was no kind of hand-to-hand fighting. It was just a bombardment by the British Navy of Kagoshima, basically. And the reason it started was because there was an English merchant who had got in the way of a Satsuma prince, and it was disrespectful in the eyes of his retinue, and so they did kiriste gomen. Basically, if someone offends a samurai, they have the right to just kill them. And there's another practice called tameshigiri. I don't probably some foreigners will know about this, but when a samurai got a new sword, sometimes they would go to a crossroads and just wait for some random person to come along and try out the sword on them just because they could. So then this kind of raises the question of, to what extent will there be this kind of kiriste gomen, which is like a right, it's a privilege for a samurai if you're in that samurai class. Would there ever be this kind of hierarchy where achieving a certain status gives you certain rights against other people and so on and so forth? So trying to replicate that within the Edoverse might be an interesting challenge. I was, next topic, invited to a dinner with Dominic and the rest of the team, and I got to meet lots of spunky young students who are interested in the project, and also get to chat with some of the members here a little bit more deeply than I had previously. I was very impressed by the brains and spirit of everyone I spoke to, including you, Oksana. And that's extremely highly motivating for me too. The other thing I kind of wanted to bring up, sorry, I haven't warned anybody about this, but it might be good to do a user survey going forward. perhaps we could collect some data on, who our core users are, where they live, how old they are, what their other interests are, and so on and so forth. So perhaps we can, build a better profile of the kind of people who are our core users at this point. Perhaps that's something we could think about going forward. Might be able to give us some hints about, how to make those people super duper happy, increase their satisfaction, and then look at where we could expand to bring in new users. That is all I have this week.
Yes. Thank you very much, Martin. And it was a pleasure to meet you as well. And yes, by the way, can you kill somebody in Edoverse? I'm wondering if it's possible.
I don't think
at
so.
all. You don't? No. Good. It's
Either you're arrested or you go to hell.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Martin. So I will just start. Okay. The firstly, that congratulations, Mr. Tokugawa. Yesterday, that officially that ceremony of inheritance was actually taking place in the Zojoji Temple. That was so magnificent and also so big events. And then around I think 400 people actually gathered, but it's very limited people, and the related people was actually gathered, and then Mr. Tokugawa became a real 19th of Tokugawa. That means actually if it was actually Edo period, Mr. Tokugawa became shogun. Yeah. That is a truth. That is amazing. And then now we have a Edoverse, and that we're just creating the Edo Castle in Edoverse. And then Mr. Tokugawa is just coming into the Edo Castle. So that means that, of course, the Edo shogun was actually just in the past his power to the emperor family on the 15th of generations, but then on the 19th that he came back to the Edo Castle. But the big Edo Castle, that is I'm very honored, and that is very great. Yeah. So we now finished Avatar auction, the real auction in Tokyo on Saturday. That was a Soji Okita just hammered at the 5 million JPY, around 25 ether. 28 ethers, yeah, and then Hajime Saito was hammered at 5.1 million JPY. That's also, I think, it's a great numbers actually. And then I hope that actually the price may be actually bid up more, but of course in this the crypto market situation, that is not actually overheated, but it was actually reasonably sensible and reasonable. And then that actually buyers is going to get the really great benefit, because so they can get 5% of a hammer price equivalent of zennies every quarter for 3 years. That means actually if these buyers just paid 5 million for 3 years, so they can get more than 3 million JPY worth of zenny.
Yeah.
So in this case, this is kind of a staking process. Yes. It's so you don't have to worry about zenny accumulation, zenny buying. So you can just get the zenny deposit. 5% of things that around the 250,000 JPY, worth of the zennies that you can get in every quarter. That is good, actually.
Great deal.
Yeah, great deal, actually. And then congratulations just on the buyers, actually.
Yeah.
Very, very good deal.
Yeah.
Then, we're going to continue this hero avatar sale, probably, 2 months or 3 months every year. Means in a quarter, or maybe, the next auction in Tokyo will be, I think, March or May. And then we're just considering that whether we should just, which heroes, yes, we're going to just, that sale. And then we're still on a process of the land NFTs and the Katana NFT and the digital twin projects we're just doing. And then we're talking to the different companies just to realize that to just have some place in Edoverse in the future. And also we have the soccer teams support that Edo All United every time that we are actually now talking. But it's going to be a big project for both, because we need a real soccer stadium in the future. In Tokyo, in Tokyo, in this the center of the Tokyo, and also that we have a big soccer stadium in real in Tokyo, and also Edoverse in the futures. So, and then we are now started to talk about the game things that, and then this is going to be a little complicated, but of course, we're going to just start at least the 1 or 2 games, and at the end of this year, and then I'm really looking forward. The team is actually now formed up. And also, we now try to just restart the marketplace, but it's still a little take time, because we have to make sure that the security, because it was actually hacked the last time, and then we had to just make it really clear. And then we are now recruiting the many different kind of talents, and then one really talented person was raised a hand, because he or she, or I can say that she, was actually a really good fan of Edoverse, and then they have a different members just in SNS. So then she wanted to just join Edoverse now, and then so we want to just have some of the SNS managers we may have in the futures, yeah. And also, we are now still recruiting PR persons and marketing person and sales staff, because we are selling that NFTs and also a lot of projects to the nationwide and also worldwide in the futures. And then we are actually increasing the number of the correspondents in the worldwide. We have a Milan, Lisbon, and Hong Kong, and Malaysia, and the many correspondents we have now, but we want to just expand the region. So please just join the Edoverse, and then we're going to just make some announcement again, and then I hope that we're going to have a very good team just towards that. They're creating a really great game. Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Dominique, and yes, congratulations to Tokugawa-san. One more. Okay. Yes. Please.
The next monthly Insider was actually at a little irregular dates, because I think 222 or 2202. I think it's a little at the short and long. And then we're going to hold a monthly Insider to be held on 11th of February. This is a national holiday in Japan, but that time will be actually announced later. Okay, please just make some fix the schedule, and then please just listen to our progress. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, and congratulations to Tokugawa-san and to all Edoverse team for on the successful sale of the avatar NFTs, and of course to the lucky owners of the avatars as well. And thank you very much. Let's talk next week. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.